Bedankt. Next speaker, Marietje Schaake for the Liberals for a minute and a half.
Thank you, President. Thank you, High Representative, dear colleagues. The horrific violence of jihadist terrorism came awfully close to home last week when Charlie Hebdo journalists were slaughtered and when people doing something as innocent as groceries were targeted because of their Jewish identity. Open, diverse societies threaten the misguided dogma of violent Islamism. It is therefore we must be even more resilient in defending that openness. But not only do these extremists select symbols of freedom of expression, a universal human right, but in Nigeria, girls' education and education at all are the prime target of Boko Haram, which literally means forbidden book or Western education is forbidden. Forcing people to adhere to your ideology with such extreme violence is the clearest sign of weakness imaginable. Back in 2011, when I was an observer to the presidential elections in Nigeria, volunteers of the Youth Corps were killed in terrorist attacks. The Youth Service Corps actively volunteered to help run the elections, and as such the attack marked an attack on all sons and daughters of Nigeria. This week, by using a child as a suicide bomber, new levels of barbarism and a lack of humanity have been shown. We condemn these attacks in the strongest possible terms and send our condolences to the families of the victims. It is important that in Europe we are fully aware of the global nature of the jihadist terror, in which perpetrators and victims come from all corners of the world. It is also important to recognize that in Nigeria the impact of terrorism has become the rule rather than the exception. We must play an active role to end the brutalities and to eliminate IS, Al-Qaeda and Boko Haram and their affiliated networks.
Thank you very much. Speaking for the left, Matt Carthy for a minute and a half.
It's been a devastating week in Nigeria with fatalities on an absolutely horrific scale, and our thoughts are obviously with those who are bereaved and who are caught up in the violence. The atrocities that were committed by Boko Haram and Baga are